Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good night to you all. Hopefully, you all are having a lovely day. I've had a day. We can describe it as such. It started off well when I woke up at 1 p.m., as is the norm, the usual, if you will, and then pulled out my phone and realized, oh, I'm supposed to be in a moderator meeting right now, and so that was a fun mad scramble to get up, get ready, go do that, and it went well, so it was fine. And then I had to eat breakfast after the call had ended, so but aside from that, a good day. The plan for today's stream is of the artistic variety of chaos. I don't know why I'm doing that accent. That's oh no, wrong accent. But yeah, the plan is to do art. I've drawn myself as a detective, I guess. I don't know. I can't draw hats, so I don't know how well that comes across. But I also can't draw hands. I don't know what the fuck is happening up here. It's just hands. Really hard, but detective. Because we're doing maps relating to detective thing. Hey, what's up? Hey, hungry. Welcome. I guess you could call it early. You're on time. It's just that I guess today is going to be a quieter stream. Usually, my friend Day would be in the chat, but I believe they are either still in the city or currently in transit, so they can't be here. Maybe they'll show up. Who knows? Detective time, kind of. Because what we're doing is, so I have a map, and this map is for a murder mystery one-shot that I have been working on for a week? At the very least, since last Sunday. I think like 2 or 3 days before that, I was already working on it. Basically, a murder mystery one-shot for D&D that I maybe will run in like 5 months. And I drew a map. And I would like to give it color. So that it's actually possible to tell what the hell is going on in here. Don't examine any of it way too closely, because like it falls apart as soon as you attempt to interrogate this street layout or why some of these buildings are long as hell or triangles. But like, it's a vibe. The map is a guide. The stuff outside is not an ocean. So if I come into the colors layer, which is currently empty, and just grab a nice light blue. So this is water. This is a river. That's the river. And then, this is all just like ground and dirt and shit. This is like a mountain, which is why it has a line. I can always remove the line, but yeah, like this is all land, and then this is just the actual thing. So yeah, there's a river which bisects the city. The city is located up in sort of like the foothills of a mountain, which is what these lines are about. These lines are mountainous related. I may tweak them slightly just to make it look a little bit nicer, but that's kind of like the vibe. And so, yeah, some of it looks a bit whack. Okay, so I guess the question is, which two things do you see? Because in terms of things which are laid out, this is a public plaza. So this is like the town square kind of area. This area in the sort of center of the city where all of the roads are coming off of, that is the town square. This up here is the castle of the city's like lord or lady in this case. That is her castle that she judges shit from. And then this is a wizard's tower. So there are no parks because I can't justify that. So yeah, town square, castle, wizard's tower, because you gotta have a wizard's tower. It would be improper to not have a wizard's tower. This little circle up here is a tower that is connected to the castle complex, but only kind of. It might disappear. I added it because I was bored at that point. Because I worked on this when I was having a low technology day, and anyone who was following me on Twitter at the time knows that I spent most of that day tweeting about Homestuck instead. So, low technology, but, you know, that was the vibe. Yes, so, kind of different color. Yes, so this is a city wall. It does have a wall. So the red is a wall. And then the wall does not continue because it's now mountains. And then this stuff here is the gate. So there's two gates, one in the southwest and one in just the south. And that's the vibe. I'm sure that this city does not make any practical sense, but it's more of a vibe. It's fantasy. I can do what I want. And so that's the general, like, gist. And so, you know, and then, you know, you take these roads continue down. I might add lines for those roads. I'm not sure. I don't really want to. I'll probably just color in, like, this area to suggest paths that go off. I don't know where either of these go. Kind of. No, they cannot enter through the river. It's, waterfall. There's a waterfall involved. So you cannot sail up this. This will not get you anywhere. You can only come in through the town gate. Probably one of these there might be like a small cluster of like buildings over here maybe that I might add. That might be the idea of you can sail up to like this point and then, you know, there's like a port bit here and then that will lead into this path and that'll take you up into the city. And then I don't know what the hell these paths actually are. I might do that. Oop. Yeah, alright. I might add that, because that could be kind of neat, even though there's not that many points of interest, because since it's a one-shot, you kind of have to limit your scope. I've made an entire city, which is not a great idea for scope limiting, but there's only a couple of points that the players can really go to. There's an inn located here, a person's house located here, a smithy up here. Their home base, like, of the party is over here. They can come to the wizard's tower, and they can come to the castle. These are basically the only locations. The players will have access to this map, I assume. So if they want to do some really specific shit involving the killer later, they can. But I don't know what they would be doing. Because I can't think of any place that you would want to, like, lay a trap that isn't, like, you know, in the place that matters. But no. I don't think there aren't that many monsters aside from the monster that is man. In this case, because it's a murder mystery, there is somebody doing a murder. Or two. Arguably two. Arguably two murders. Depends on the player actions. At least one murder. But I don't know if there'd be any, like, monsters just roaming. Or, like fucking weird shit hiding. I mean, I guess there's, like, you can come to some very weird points. Like, this spot over here is a dead end. There could be some weird shit over there. And there's a couple of spots that you can't really access easily. You can put some weird shit in there, you know? Only two? Those are rookie numbers. Well, he's not a serial... They aren't... Like, the killer is not a serial killer, per se. They're just a dipshit. It's not... This isn't like a master of murder and disguise, you know, lurking through the dark streets of old London town, just ripping and tearing. It's like some asshole pulling some shit. They will claim by accident, but they are wrong. They are lying. But yeah, it's a whole thing. It's part of the mystery. So yeah, the plan is I will color this bad boy, which is going to be fun because I don't usually do things. No. So, because this bit isn't technically spoilers. Like, some of the very early stuff is not spoilers. If it's the second person, if they do die, that is spoilers. The first person that they kill is one of the servants of the person who runs the town. So the person who runs the town has a bunch of servants, and one of them gets fucking murdered, like, over here. At a really weird hour of the day. So there's a whole, like, thing going on with that. Going, like, why the fuck are you... What? Everyone is very confused as to why the hell he was there at that hour. At least, like, 4 people aren't confused, but they're not going to explain why. So, you know, like, it's a whole thing. Stabbed. Stabbed and or set on fire. It's complicated. It's a whole thing. It's fairly, like, D&D is quite high fantasy, I would argue. This murder is probably lower fantasy, purely because, it's, the one-shot is tailored for a level 1 party, and at level 1, you can't do all of these, like, grand, like, world-changing things, and so the, like, tools and, like, methods of murder are basically stuff that, like, a level 1, level 2 character could do. The party isn't the one who killed the guy, but, like, it's on a similar level. If this was like, campaign, if this was part of a campaign where the characters were of a higher level, then it'd probably be a lot weirder, and it probably wouldn't be just a stabbing. It would be, like, poison, or charm person, or some, like, you cast Feeble Mind on the guy and he fell in the river. Like, you'd be pulling shit like that at a higher level. But at a low level, you're basically gonna be hitting things with your weapon and using your spells fairly sparingly. I wouldn't say it's more grounded, it's just that it uses a little less magic in the murder, technically. There is magic involved, it's just that it's mostly a stabbing. But the reason it's important is because the detective is like, someone needs to do this job for me because I am very fragile, and if somebody... I can't look at the dead body. That is a character trait of the detective of the town, is that they cannot look at the dead body because they'll pass out, and that all of their assistants are away on holiday. So they're like, oh shit, someone needs to do the investigation for me because I can't look at the body. Help. And so that's why the party's involved. It's because the detective's a little bit of a soft child. They're like 30, but they're like tiny soft. They're just like, I can't handle it. Murder's terrifying. I can't handle dead bodies. Someone else please do it for me. And the party's like, yeah, sure, fuck it. Why not? Why the hell not, right? Okay, what color should I... Probably should do the... I'll do the river first. Let's get some of the river shit in. I'm gonna give it a folder, though. I'm gonna give that a sub folder. No. No, they won't. Well, okay. No. Here's the thing, is that, like, I can't go into too much detail because, like, some of the people who watch this, I might end up running this campaign with them. So I can't, like, say everything. And some stuff is like, legitimately would be spoilers. If I, like, described every detail about the murder scene, that's kind of spoilers, because some of it you have to do, like, perception or investigation checks to do, to figure it out. But, like, no, it's pretty basic. This isn't, like, one of those... That's not the kind of murder that's happening. Yeah, so I'm like, I mean, it's a good idea. It's not a bad idea. It's just that I've written quite a lot for this one shot already in terms of, like, the evidence that is being used. Or the evidence that can be discovered by the party if they, you know, talk or look on a specific spot or blah, 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 blah. And that evidence does not include, the killer doing weird shit to people's bodies, like cutting off their fingers or something. Like, that's not what the killer's doing. That's not the kind of person that the killer is. They're not doing, like, weird post-mortem torture shit. Or branding them or something. It's kind of... It's a bit more... basic. Well, I mean, it kind of does. There is some parts where I can imagine that, like, certain, classes or races would have some impact, but not a huge amount. The mystery should still be completely solvable regardless of your party composition, because even if you fail all of the, like, persuasion or perception checks, the information that you get should still point you at the correct person, because it is a one-shot, so you can't do like full like Murder on the Orient Express kind of shit. You can't go full in on this. You kind of have to pull back and recognize the scope. So it is, the killer is not subtle, because they didn't plan it as well. They didn't really plan it, so it should still be solvable. But if in some cases, like I'm trying to think of an example that isn't the actual example, because that would be kind of a spoiler in and of itself. I'm trying to think of literally any other character class than the one that I have in my head, which is the correct one. I can't think of any other character classes that have like a specific thing. I'm having difficulty right now. I'm having a crisis. Because I basically only play like 3 classes, so I'm just like, what the hell do other people have? It'd be like, so like for example, Rangers have a thing called a favored enemy, where they know a shit ton, about a specific enemy type. So for instance, you can be a ranger with a favorite enemy of giants. So you know a lot about giants, you can track giants very easily. And if you were a ranger with giants, like this favorite giant, and the murderer was a giant, or a giant was involved in the murder scene in some way, and like the ranger did a perception check on the investigation scene, me as the GM would go, okay, you either get, I'm going to lower the floor for that check because you have this knowledge. You know what a giant is. You know what giant footsteps look like. So that kind of thing. But not actually that, because it isn't a giant. I don't have any giants in this city, per se. Not yet. Maybe. Maybe at some point. Alright. I will color in this river very quietly. I'm not gonna be quiet. Jesus Christ. That's not how this works. So yeah, that's a whole thing. So there would be some benefits, but not like a huge amount. Everything is still solvable if you don't have the ideal characters and classes, or like the species in the class. So if you want to play some real whack shit, or stuff that isn't default 5e, would still function just fine. Because I think everything that I've done has been done in the assumption that it's mostly like base game 5e. So the basic like 9 classes and like no Unearthed Arcana shit. Like you could play Unearthed Arcana in it, but I haven't planned for that. So if you wanted to play weird Unearthed Arcana shit, you probably wouldn't get a whole lot of bonuses. Unless I checked and you're like, oh yeah, you would have a bonus to this because you are big smart. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Anyway, that's a river. That's a river. And also, I forgot to run the timer. I'll run the timer in at 25 past. And that's when it'll start like what it's supposed to do. Because it was supposed to start at 5 past and then I forgot. So that was awkward. I'm gonna set an alarm for that so I don't forget. Do I have any? I do not have anything remotely close to 10:25 p.m. as an alarm. The closest was a no, put that silent. Silent. Don't play my lights. Don't play the liked songs playlist. I don't need to get copywritten strict because it's like it starts just playing like K-pop or something, which is why no one's allowed to call me during streams because that'll get me destroyed. I won't do any of the details yet. So we got the river. Let's get a mount. Well, the ground is basically that gray that I put in, which is mostly a thing to make it easier in my eyes because it's initially white. And that was gonna hurt my eyes after a bit, so I made it gray. But it's gonna be tamped a little. Tamped is an interesting word. I don't know if that's the word I want, but I'm just gonna say tamped. I'm gonna tamp that down. Desaturate is probably the better word, but I like the word tamped. Which one should I do next? I can give all the buildings a flat. That might not be a bad idea. It'll take a little bit too, because it's a pain in the butt. Building flat. Let's get that building flat in there, baby. Doesn't really matter what color it is, because I'll change it at some point, I'm sure. And then there's the issue with the lines where they aren't super great. I'll probably neaten up some of those at some point. But they're mostly bad, like, at certain, like, joiny points. Because they look fine in person, because I drew this traditionally. Like, with a pen and paper. Because it was supposed to be a low-tech day. That was the plan. That was not what ended up happening. Again, anyone who was on Twitter knows I spent most of Wednesday tweeting about Homestuck, which I don't have an excuse for. Not really. I kind of I have reasons. I don't have excuses. It is just what it is. So, you know. It happens. So, but I did at least have like a little bit of a day off. And I'll probably keep trying to do that every once in a while. Wednesday might just be a good day for it in general. Just because usually I'm done with work by then. Usually, not always. Often. I'm done with work by then. For that part of the week. So I get to just like chill out. And then I can just completely chill. The issue is that I get extremely bored. Which is why it wasn't really low tech, because I had music on and I had YouTube videos running in the background, and so I'd have to keep glancing at those to make sure that they were working properly and I was getting the music that I wanted. But that's a me problem. That's a me problem. That's an issue of self-control, a thing that I lack. Because when I am bored, goddammit, my brain wants to have something happening. Mental stimulation. And the issue is that if I'm not doing anything, I'll probably just fall asleep. Which is why I don't usually get tired on streams very often. Because I'm always doing something. I'm always either talking, which is a kind of mental stimulation. I'm thinking about shit, or I'm like actively doing something with my hands. And that usually staves off exhaustion. If I'm just sitting in my chair bored, I'm gonna end up falling asleep. Which is good, I guess. But only kind of. Only kind of. Or I'll go for a very long walk, which is what I did on Wednesday. I went for like an hour-long walk, and then I got rained on, which was very, very nice. Definitely a fan of being rained on. Because I didn't bring an umbrella, because I kind of misunderstood how long an hour would be, and didn't realize the rain was actually coming my way and would be there in an hour. So I didn't bring an umbrella. I got rained on. I had to run from the crossing to my house via the side street. It didn't work. I had a stitch. It didn't go well. And then I got home, and then now I was tired, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video. Which happens. And then again, I'm stuck. And then I did, in fact, draw a map. And it was really fun to draw traditionally, actually. I don't usually ink. I don't do traditional drawing very much these days. I used to do a lot more of it. But now I seem to do, like, one, like, thing or a chunk of work on digital, like, once a week. And that's most of my art that I do. I end up just doing the digital art. I don't do a whole lot of actual, like, proper traditional art. And I wasn't going to color this by hand, because that would end up probably hurting more than this is going to. And, like, this is already going to be interesting, because I'm going to have to do because there's a lot of small spaces in here. Especially if I want each roof to kind of be even semi-distinct. There's going to be a lot of small bits in here. Oop. Alright. That's the alarm. So I'm going to set the timer 15 minutes, because I missed the first sprint. But if anyone in the background wants to be productive alongside me, quote unquote, 15-minute sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, that sprint is running. And that will just keep running for the rest of the stream. I know not a lot of people are here because of Tony of Tomes, or Tony of Tales even, I keep getting that wrong. Purely because it's because my stream overlaps entirely with Writer Greg's stream, who is doing, like, 'cause it's a sat day, it's his, like, 4-hour stream, and he completely covers my time slot. So, like, no, there's not that many people here, I wouldn't say, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I say, it's kind of obvious when you look at the chat above around me. I am literally just talking to myself. And I have been told I'm not allowed to talk about Homestuck because my friend is not here. So I'm not allowed to talk about Homestuck. I'm not allowed to do that since they are not here. Because that's part of the reason that I was thinking about it at all on that day. Only partially. Part of it was just general, like, oh yeah, Homestuck. And sometimes I am the Homestuck. I'm literally wearing a Homestuck jumper right now. I've been wearing it for a week because it's very cold and my shirt and my normal jacket was in the wash. Which happens. You know, I was like, I'm cold. I'm cold. I can't turn the heater on. Technically I can. There is a heater literally right above me, but I can't turn it on stream days because that would probably sound fucking atrocious. And also in general. No, I'm in too many voice calls to turn that heater on. So I can't turn that heater on. I can't turn the other heater on because it's broken. Technically, only the aircon is broken, but it was literally leaking water, which is extremely weird for an aircon to do. So that's still broken, and we have not fixed it. And I'm sure the heater works fine, but the fact that there was water coming out of that aircon is terrifying. So we're not allowed to do that because it's a split system, so we can do both air and heat, like cool and hot. But I can't turn that heater on. There's a heater in the other bedroom. I could turn that on. I don't really want to, purely because I don't really have a good reason for that one. I just don't want to. And also because it seems weird to try and heat this bedroom using a heater in another bedroom entirely. And since I closed the door, I don't need to. And besides, since I close the door, it actually gets decently warm in here because the computer is a fucking mini heater itself. It just fucking goes wild. Like, I will exit this room in an hour and a half, and there will be, like, a degree of difference in terms of the overall temperature of this room. Like, this room will be noticeably warmer than the stuff outside, which makes sense. The stuff outside includes a door to the goddamn backyard, and it's a glass door that isn't glazed, so it just fucking leaks heat like nothing. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I think I'm just describing a house. Basically, the point is that it's cold, and my jumper was in the wash, and I was like, what if I wear my fucking Solux Capture jumper that I have owned since I was about 14. I'm nearly 22. I've owned it from anywhere between 6 and 5 years. I'm not entirely clear. I'm sure I could check if I literally went into my Gmail and went, hey bitch, where's that What Pumpkin receipt? From whence 413 did I purchase this article of clothing? I've had it for years and I don't wear it often because, no, and I don't actually like jumpers. I prefer jackets with hoods. I don't like hoodies with no zippers. So I'm just like, huh, shit. And so, you know, I don't wear it. I wore it to uni like once. And in doing so, someone noticed it, recognized exactly what the fuck I was doing, and drew me a Solux, which was pretty cute, actually. I still have that note somewhere. I have no idea who the hell did it, because I did not absorb her name at any point in that conversation, and I immediately forgot what she looked like, so I couldn't remember it for any subsequent week where we checked off, like, the roll or anything. So, good job. Social anxiety, really fucking killing it. It's social, who the fuck knows? So yeah, I have a jumper, and I was like, what if I just wear this, because it's cold, and it'll be a warm jumper, because it's still very fluffy, because it hasn't been overwashed, because it hasn't been worn enough to be overwashed. So it's still nice and fluffy on the inside, and it's a hoodie. Hoodies tend to be warm, especially because you can't take them off and the zipper doesn't, like, leak heat or something. So I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll wear the fucking hoodie. And I am wearing the hoodie, and it is a decent hoodie. I do definitely still prefer jackets, and that's the only reason that I'm being a Homestuck. Is because I have the jumper on, because I was cold, and my jacket was in the wash, because I'd been wearing it for like 4 months. Now, to be fair, those 4 months were summer. So, whatever, I guess. It's the same difference at the end of the day, right? I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm a little confused. And the issue is that basically no one's in chat at the moment, because, like, yeah, fair enough. Again, my time slot is completely overtaken or subsumed by somebody else, and I can't stream earlier in the day for reasons. So, this is just a time slot that I have. I could just not stream on Saturdays, but I like streaming on Saturdays. It's a nice way to kind of end out the week. Yes, I have the Sunday stream as well, but I like Saturdays. Saturdays are good, and I've been streaming on Saturdays for ages now. Like, I have had Saturday streams for basically ever since I started. I don't remember if I've always had Tuesdays. I think I had to change the Tuesday out at some point. I'm sure I could figure it out if I went back and checked. Since I've been streaming for nearly a year. It'll be a year in like a month and a half. Whenever June hits, it'll hit like a year some point in June. Early-ish June, like the 14th or something. That'll be when it's been a year. And then that'll mean, you know, like because I initially streamed around nothing because I didn't have uni on in June because June is the month off because it's exam period and I don't have exams because I'm an art student. They don't do exams for art students because they just do portfolios, which is not the same thing. So you don't have to go into a room and do an exam. Or in the case of last year, I assume sit in a room in your own home with a sign saying, "Don't fucking come in, ho," and then do like an online test, which I'm sure was delightful. Because you probably have to have like a webcam on and everything so they can make sure you weren't cheating, which, ew, gross. And I remember that being a problem for somebody, but guess what? It ain't me. I've done one uni exam in my entire time because I had a 3-year course and I did one exam because I did a linguistics unit because I am a nerd. And for some reason I was like, yeah, bitch, I'll do a linguistics unit. As an art student doing visual arts and design, I will do a linguistics unit. It was an incredible plan. It went perfectly. There were no problems. I actually really enjoyed that unit. And if I go, because I plan to do another degree, not an arts degree, I want to do like a coding degree because, yeah, boy, the skill of the future, baby. I might do the follow-up unit, which is grammar, because I didn't get to do the grammar unit because I didn't have any more first level courses or units that I was allowed to do because they had a max of 10, and because I did a full year of first level and then changed degrees, I had to use up one of my 9th slot on a mandatory unit for the design part of the degree that I hadn't done last year, and so I was like, oh no, and then I took my final elective, my only elective, well no, the final spot that I had for my first years, I took on that linguistics unit, and it was worth it, because I had a lot of fun. That's because, again, I am a colossal nerd. And when I say linguistics, I mean, it was only phonology, and I did well in it, not great, pretty good. I'm pretty sure I got a high distinction on it, which is good. I'm selling myself short because I could not, for the life of me, determine any of the sounds in a man's spoken speech. Because we had to, like, analyze a sample of, like, spoken speech by somebody. And what I ended up doing was I was analyzing Billy Connolly. And that was fun. Because it was a very, like, funny interview that he was having. And so I got to watch that, like, 20 times. But I couldn't analyze it for shit, because I was just like, I don't know what the fuck sounds you're saying with your mouth, dude. Like, I have no fucking clue what that is, and so I just did my best. I did decent on it, and then I did good on the exam, because it was just like, you know, like, how do you transcribe this word? What is a minimal set? Please give an example of a minimal set. And I'm like, yeah, man, mit pit. Okay. Not mit pit, bit pit. No, bit pit, bat pat. Shit like that. Minimal sets, baby. That's technically a minimal pair. A minimal set would be bit, pit, sit, kit, like when you have like a whole thing. I think that's what a set is. The difference between a set and a pair. Because a minimal pair is if there's only 2 of them. And a minimal set is when you have a whole fucking stream of them bitches. Where they're identical bar one sound. In this case, it's the first consonant. So sit and bit have the same it, but they have a different starting sound. Start and part are not minimal sets because st is 2 sounds, and so that does not actually do anything. But tart and part are minimally paired together because only 1 sound, p and t, part, tart. I'm just going to describe, that's the only thing I can actually remember with clarity from my phonology unit. I mean, most of the phonology unit was teaching kids the IPA, and because I'm one of those people, I already knew it. Like, I came into that unit with a pre-existing understanding of what the IPA was and roughly what sounds corresponded to what symbols. So she's describing to us, like, how, like, what this sound is, and it's like, that's a sh. And it's like, how do you know that? It's like, it's because I had a really weird summer in that year, and I spent it looking at the phonology table for Australian English on Wikipedia. And it's like, why? And it's like, I don't know. I got a lot of things happened in summer of 2019. Yeah, 2019. So like December 2018, January, February 2019. Shit was real weird. I blame world building for that, because I think at that point I watched like an Artifexian video about world, like, language or something, and I was like, oh. And so I started doing conlanging shit very badly. None of my conlangs have grammar. Again, that's why I needed to do that grammar unit as part of the phonology thing, but I couldn't do it because I didn't have this fucking unit slots. And so, you know, I knew about the IPA. Vowels are harder because it's kind of hard to tell them apart, especially when your dialect does not have a certain vowel, and when your dialect doesn't have a vowel, and then when your idiolect of that dialect does not have a vowel or makes a distinction which is not present anywhere else. So I'm just like, what sound is that? Because like half the time, because like usually with the IPA, right, you what I'll do is I'll go to like IPAchart.com or something and listen to the sound bites, and that's basically the closest I'm ever going to get to actually knowing what a sound is. Because usually you give examples, and that's always a bad idea. Because if you say like, A is the sound in car, I'll go, cool. That doesn't mean anything. Well, actually, no, car's probably a bad example. I think car, it sounds that A is fairly similar across most dialects. I think most people will be familiar with the R in car. Maybe like, I'm trying to think of a good example of a word that is definitely different depending on dialect. The like the A in father, right? Because some people say like father. Like, some people say that vowel differently in that word. And because I'm in a non-rhotic dialect, I don't pronounce the R in father. Like the, well, no, there's no R in father. Sorry, I'm thinking of farther. Which in and of itself, like, father and father, I say them the same because I don't pronounce the R in farther. And I'm having to put it in there to distinguish it, like farther. Like, going farther than. I don't say that R because I am non-rhotic, and so instead of doing that, I just like lengthen the A. But in quick speech, there is no distinction between father. So, you know, the father. They sound the same, and so if you describe a vowel as being based on the A in father, it's like that could mean ah. It could mean a whole lot of shit. And so that was fun in class. Anyway, that's the end of 15 minutes sprint. I'm going to drink some water now. Jesus Christ. And I need to finish my Duolingo because I forgot to do my Duolingo again. Again with the Duolingo. I keep forgetting to do it. because I am very, very lazy. So I'm gonna blind myself real quick. I'm gonna do only goes bright page. I'm going to do the intro practice because I don't care. Because I can usually do that pretty well. Like, ha, bo, dona, haana, big, agus, snok, balach, agus, kelag, much, agus, kelag, ha, bo, I've immediately forgotten the word for big. Because beg is small. Big is not ma. Is it? It's not ma. That's good. More. So haba more. And ku agus ka. Done. I have done my Scottish Gaelic for the day. I've done it poorly. I'm putting way too many weird sounds in there, but I've done it. So we're all good. Ah, jeez. Boom. Alright. Yeah, stretch. Stretch and posture. Taking advantage of that break. Ugh. I don't think I'm missing anything else in terms of news stuff happening around me. Everything seems to be running perfectly fine on the side. Get to see somebody's cat. Someone's posting for critique. I don't know what's happening. Someone's sharing some art. Bowler. That's cute. I should probably just close that so I don't get confused. Oh, jeez. I haven't actually decided what color basically anything in this drawing is gonna be. Aside from that, like, you know, the river should probably be blue. I'm mostly just putting in this dark blue as a base for the I guess, for lack of a better word, peasant buildings. So the castle is going to be on a separate... It's going to have a separate folder for the castle. A separate folder for the wizard's tower, which is going to probably be very weirdly colored because wizards, am I right? Christ. But all of the, like, regular city street shit's gonna be in the dark blue base color, but I can change that base. It'll probably... Because it depends on what, like, the... Because you, from a bird's eye view, you're gonna be drawing mostly, the roof of the building. So it's like, what color are y'all's, like, shingles? And I'm gonna say probably dark blue. And then the streets is gonna go underneath that, is gonna just cover on top of the gray, the dark gray layer that I have, or the medium gray. And I'm gonna just chuck in some, like, texturing to make it look like cobbles or something. And then I'll have to find a way to distinguish the mountains, which will probably be, like, a different shade of gray. I think I described the mountains in the article as dark. So probably the way that I'll do it is just, like, the ground is fairly dark, like, as not the path. The roads will probably be in this kind of gray, a sort of medium lightish gray. And I might make it a little bit lighter with some of the texturing that'll happen. And when I say texturing, I mean I'm going to just fucking smash some shit. I'm gonna just fucking go wild in there. I'm just gonna just put some fucking pencil splatter all over that shit. And that'll be texturing. Because I don't know how the fuck to do that at this scale. This shit's too fucking small. I'm not gonna fucking put individual cobblestones on this shit. That's not happening. That's not how this works. I don't do that anyway. But not at this scale. This shit's too tiny. Live from the Uber, it's day! Good evening. How was the play? How was the play you went to see? It was, cozy, wasn't it? How'd that go? Hopefully it was lovely. Because I don't think I was able to read any tweets on that after the fact. Because I saw the tweets when you got there. I did not see any tweets from when you left. Play was very good. Hell yeah. Good shit. Good shit. I mean... Probably not. Given my taste in many things, Probably not. I have very basic taste. I am a la basic la bitch. That is my job. My job is to be la basic. Is it la or la? I don't remember French. I am la basic. So you know, it is what it is. And I'm glad it was good. You remembered to enjoy it like your mother told you. And that's the good thing. That's all we wanted at the end of the day. Just good times. Good times, get to enjoy stuff. I'm gonna leave that tower unpainted too. So I don't, hopefully I'll remember to color that, because there's every chance I won't. There's every chance I will forget to actually color that, and I'll be like, wait, what the fuck? Shit. No! No! But I can always, like, erase it if I need to. I have this option. This is the power that has been vested in me by digital art. Because I added that at the end, just like as a little treat for me. It's like, draw more circles. Draw more fucking circles. You only drew like 2 circles. Draw more circles. And I'm like, okay, I'll draw more circles. So I added a fountain, and I added a tower somewhere else. And I was like, yes. Circles. I love inking circles. I probably need to fix some of those lines on the circles, just because they get real wacky with ink. Very character based, and it has a lot of moments that make me go, oh, very clever theatery joke. And because I am, despite all vibes, not actually a theater kid, I wouldn't get most of them. In spite of the general, I don't know if I have theater vibes. I don't think I have theater vibes that much, but if I did, they are false, incorrect, inherited from the like 4-month span where I was a theater kid because I was in a play. Once you get past that, it's like, I don't know anything. I have no idea what's happening. I am unfamiliar. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not gonna finish that. I'm not gonna finish where that was going. Incredible. I should actually be able to get these bases done. Oh, you're supposed to play it's all about romance, infidelity versus infidelity. Ah, that's probably the more important part that made me go, Again, I worry that we make it seem like I hate romance. I don't. I don't hate romance. It's just very easy to cringe at. Romance is cringy. That's just a fact. And it doesn't make it bad. It's just that romance is extremely cringe. Straight romance especially is very cringe. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I promise I'm joking. But romance is very cringe. So, you know, I am very susceptible to cringe. And there's deliberate cringe. Okay, that's not gonna work. And I do have vague theater kid vibes. Okay, I can work with that. Because that seems reasonable to me. I feel like that makes sense. Based on just the people that I was around. Well, not actually, most of them weren't into theater either. Because I should have like straight male gamer energy, and I don't, which is very good, because that would be very, very bad. Instead, I have vague, anxious theater kid energy. Or band kid. I did do music. I was in music, and I technically was in a band for about a week and a half. So, hey, you know what? I'll take it. They wouldn't have let me go in the band if I didn't have some kind of energy relating to music, huh? When I say band, I mean we went up to some guy's attic and we played, like, I don't even remember what songs we played, but we did a couple of songs in this guy's attic for like 2-3 weeks, and then that stopped happening. Just because, like, time was not able to work with us on that one. It's like, oh, okay, and the band was disbanded. We didn't even have a name. We were like, yeah, we're gonna be a band. Let's go to this guy's attic and do band. I did not have a clear role, which is perhaps a sign that I have band kid energy, but not actual in any of the skills inherent in being either a band or theater kid. Because I did not have a role, because I did not play an instrument, and I'm not that good of a singer. So, I was just kind of there. which is why that one teacher assumed I was a groupie, because I think I mentioned that I didn't really have a role. I don't remember how that conversation about the groupie thing went. I just remember that she definitely said, "Oh, you're a groupie," or something to that effect. I don't remember what sparked that, like what specific line from either me or the guy that I was with made her say that. It was a whole thing. Because my instrument was clarinet, but I quit because I had a cold all the time. And because I hated it. Clarinet's disgusting. It sounds awful if you do it wrong, and it just is not a fun sensory experience to play a clarinet. So I don't recommend it. I don't recommend clarinet. I can possibly recommend flute. Just because you don't have to, like... Flute is slightly different. Because you don't actually put, like... You don't actually put your lips on it in the same way that you do with a clarinet, so it's slightly different. Flute might be good. Clarinet, well, it has the same problem of being like cat scratch, but it's slightly better. Flute over clarinets. Clarinets are awful. Don't play clarinet. And I was bad at piano. It's a whole thing. I'm in school overall. Yeah. Groupies are sluts. They sleep with the band. Yep. I mean, at the time that she said it, I had no idea what it meant. At the time, like in the moment, I interpreted it as being a member of the group. Like, that's what I thought groupie meant. I thought groupie was person who was part of the group, and I was like, yeah. And the guy who I was with, who was the, I think, vocalist, he would have been the vocalist, he went, no, 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 and said no, and I don't remember what he said as to say, like, what my role actually was, because I think I was supposed to be synth, but we didn't have a synth, and also I don't think we understood what a synth was. So, because synth is basically piano, and I'm not a pianist. I was synths, which we didn't have, and sub-vocalist, except I didn't sing. So, you know. But he would have said something, and then I think he explained it to me after we left. He explained what she meant, and I was like, oh. Huh. Which, pretty fucked thing for your health teacher to say. Considering that I don't think at any point my vibes suggest that I was going to bang anybody. Like, I don't think at any point in my entire life have I given off the vibes that I was trying to sleep with somebody. So the fact that she assumed that was what I was doing just because I was hanging out with this guy is kind of wild. And that's what I call cishet nonsense. Because if she knew even the slightest thing about me from having taught me for, at that point, a couple of months, she would know that that's not what's happening. The reason I was hanging out with him is because he was the only person in the class that I fucking knew. And we didn't have any other friends because everyone else in that class was, like, from the year level above us because of how fucking weird shit happened. So I was like, I don't fucking know any of you people. I can be the theremin player. Basically, I think that was the vibe. That was the entire vibe of me being there, is that I was going to do something. I was moral support for the 2 or 3 weeks that that band was a thing. I tried to sing at some point, but then I think I was on the wrong note, and then I got very confused. So, oops. Rip to the dream with, Callan, Jesse, Jackson, and Benson. Took me a second. I got there in the end. That was a band, and I was in it for the length of time that it existed. I think there was 1 week that I couldn't go, and then either I wasn't invited to any more, or they stopped happening. So I'm gonna choose to pretend that it was just that it stopped happening. And since the guy, the lead singer, ended up going through some shit, I'm gonna assume that it was, couldn't do it. I'm just gonna assume. Oh yeah. I think there's always a sexual implication, and the fact that I was the only quote-unquote woman in a group of, in a band of men, or boys, we were all like 14 at the time, I think that was the implication she was going for. I think, like, she wasn't going in the vibe of, oh, you're a groupie, as in you just hang out with the group and you don't actually do anything. I think she was leaning for the sexual implication. At the very least, that's how it was described to me, and I think that was the way that the guy I was with took it. On my behalf. I think he was the one who, because I didn't know what the fuck she was saying, and it was only afterwards that I was like, oh, that's what that means? Huh. Kind of fucked, actually. That's fucking rude. And, like, to be clear, at the time that she said this, I was already identifying as asexual. So, that went well for everybody involved at the time. I don't think the guy didn't know, but like that didn't matter. I didn't tell anybody, but it's like I was already doing that. So it's like, no, I'm definitely not a groupie in that sense because I don't want to fuck any of you. Not because you're not nice people. You're all very nice people. You're all lovely boys. I hang out with you for a reason. It's because you're my friends. I don't want to bang any one of you. That would be weird. And I don't want to. It's gross. So, you know, you're a pretty shitty groupie at that point. But again, we're also like 14, so... Actually, hold on. No, yeah, we would have been 14. I would have been 14 when this happened. Because it would have been the start of 2015? No, 2014. It would have been first half 2014 would be when that happened. So, oops. Careful. Let's get some bad boys in there. Careful. Of course, it was decent. I'm assuming if your friend weren't in it. I mean, that's always possible, right? That's always the thing where it's like, would I like this as much if it wasn't, like, for my friends being part of it? Who knows? It's hard to tell. And you basically you can never know, really. Because now you've seen it, that's it. It's now going to be associated with that. Even if you go and see it again, run by different people, you're going to be thinking about that time you saw it and your friends were in it. So, Injured Matt is rolling, throws himself in with so much energy. Have I met Matt? And if not, if he was in Rossum's, would I remember his role? Would I remember his role in that? I have not. I figured. I haven't met anybody. I don't know people. I know like 3 people. You were one of them. He was not in Rossum's. Okay, yes, I have no idea. But he did good. Hell yeah. He did good, and that's what matters. Right? At the end of the day, that's the good shit. Alright. Okay. Should I... I'm wondering, do I specifically color in the places that matter? Because the Wizard's Tower is in red, the castle's in red, but the smithy, the bar, the house, and the hall are not. I probably shouldn't, though. I may have met him... Okay, so the issue there is that I didn't come back for the evening part of the birthday Discord when you were drunk. Because you weren't drunk when I was there. Well, you weren't very drunk. Because I was there in the afternoon and then I didn't come back for the evening because I wasn't drinking and because I was going to do a stream. So I probably have not met him if he wasn't there in the afternoon session playing Jackbox. And even if he was, I remember nothing. Which I appreciate that I had the option to just not do that part. Because everyone's like, hey, we should go out and, like, drink. And I'm like, I don't drink. I don't drink. I've never drank. Help. I don't want to go out and drink. Only walked by for that part? Nice. Nice. You nailed it. You really nailed it on that one. It is superb. Oh god, there's so many gaps. You can see them. You can see where I've missed the lines. Luckily, no one's ever getting that close. Well, yeah, you do, which is nice, but some people don't. Because, like, the group that I was going to go out with in January, but I didn't because it was disgustingly hot and I didn't want to go on the bus, they all got fucking smashed. I probably wouldn't have stayed long enough to see them get smashed, but they all got smashed, and I was like, cool. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't go. Because I wasn't going to drink. It's like, He is cute, though. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nope, that's the end of another 15-minute sprint that I wasn't adhering to in the slightest, because it's just for the purposes of nobody, I think, at this point. No one's taking advantage of that, you know, that sprint timer, but I'm leaving it on anyway, because it's easier if I do. Then I can pretend that I'm being productive. I mean, I have been, it's just it's been tedious. I need to keep track of where everything that's important is. Everything that's important is here, 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 here. I have to check that one. Which house did I chuck him in? Which house? Oh, he's not in that house anymore. I moved him. Oh, I moved him to a different house. Ah. Shit. Shit. That house. And I think those are the only 4 places that are houses. So sorry. I need to remember to go there. I'm so tired. I've had a long day. It's been a long day. I've had a lot to do. And you've been out. I would be tired. I yawned like twice before starting the shoot, and I was like, I'm not even tired, what the fuck? It's like, oh, maybe I am. Oh well. I'm obviously not that tired. I'm managing. But it's like, huh. Weird. Weird how that happens. How do I get this to do the thing properly? Trying to debate how I can get the lines to look correct with this style. To fix up some of these bits. That's too small. Sleep when I get home and you got workbooks, then work, then uni is mundane. Ugh. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It'd be like that. I'm so glad that my time slot is able to be at 10 o'clock instead of at 11 till 1. It's just like, ew. Because at least now I can theoretically go to sleep at like, you know, 1 a.m, but I don't. Because I am bad at this. Line fixed. I'm putting it there. I didn't do a whole lot, but I did do something. And it's really from staying up Thursday. Yeah. You sleep a lot. Aww. Yeah, I understand that. Because I like hanging out with people too. Which is why usually when you're like, hey, you want to call? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I like hanging out with people. It's nice to chat with folks and just chill out. But it's also exhausting. Which is why I don't do it that often. That's why I only stream 3 times a week. When I could probably stream at least 1 extra time. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Could arguably stream 2 other times, and I'm like, I don't want to. That's too much. I need my days off. And those are the main bits that were missing spots, just because they are the really quick squares that I did. Okay. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. And since you have an extra, you have the extra week to do campaign prep, you can probably fairly easily just find a day and be like, nothing. I'm gonna just chill out now. And just have a no tech day and just have a nice walk or something. Is there a nice temper? It's probably a nice temperature day next week. Just go for a nice long walk or something. Actually, because that's what I do. That's what I did on Wednesday when I was like, I'm gonna do a no tech day. I went for a long walk. It was only an hour because it rained, but I was like, yeah, walk. Walk good. No walk, only bed. Bed also valid. Sleep good, rest good. Oh fuck, it's gonna rain on Tuesday? No. I need Tuesday to be good. That's a work day. Okay. I almost hope it's a fucking $12 week so I can do it all on Monday instead. Ew. And rainy Tuesday? Gross. It's raining the whole of Tuesday. No. I don't want that. Gross. At least Monday's not raining. So Monday's good. How much humidity was that again? Sorry, we're gonna put them 89. Why? Good lord. Apparently it's very humid, but that's why I'm outside. That's why I'm not outside. Okay, 15-minute sprint, woo. Yeah, well that's kind of the thing, it's like, because you're touch starved, and then it sort of wraps back around, you're like, I'm not used to touch. It happens. Oh, hell yeah. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Yay. Yay for hugs. I have no idea what I need to do next. Oh no. I need to look at what I described the mountain as. I described it as rough black stones that form the mountain peaks at its back. Okay. Shit dark. Got it. Got it. Shit dark. I can understand that. I'm gonna check that below all of those. Not using that one. Because the houses probably won't stay that kind of dark blue. Not at the roof level, I don't think. But otherwise, check a bunch of fucking dark shit in here. And then there'll be a lot of, like, fading it in to make it look better. Well, because the issue is those lines don't make a whole lot of sense, to be honest. The way that line has been set up, I don't totally get it. It's like a cliff. Actually, no, that makes sense then. So if that's a cliff... Yeah, okay. So there's a cliff at the edge of town like that. It's the long trip home. I mean, you do live in the Whoop Whoop. Don't forget, you do live in the Whoop Whoop. Relative to most places. Most places would consider where you live to be a Whoop Whoop. So it always takes a little while, yeah? I can say that I live in the next closest thing to Whoop Whoop. But at least I have a highway. But Whoop Whoop, I refuse. I also live in a Whoop Whoop. Being a Whoop Whoop isn't a bad thing. It just means that you live in Whoop Whoop. It just means you live a ways away. It's a distance. You know? There is a distance that must be traversed in order to arrive at location. You know? Right. Much closer to me or to you? Because I've just assumed it's in the city, so I'm just like, that's close, I guess. By public? By car? Yeah. Both. Okay. Gotcha. Right, because Northwest is unavailable. Yeah, well, yeah, oh yeah, Vermont's way closer to me, yes. That's like a 20-minute drive. That is like a 20-minute. That's an easy stuff. Otherwise, Cleef time. Lesser. Cleef round. Well, do I actually no? I wouldn't do that. Would I? I guess it depends. This is Paran. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Paran is Paran. That's not... I would not consider Paran close. But in comparison to where you are, yes, Paran is closer to me. Paran is not... Again, Paran's like... Paran's rich-ish, right? That's how that works. Paran's like... a bit up it. I don't know. I've never actually been to Paran, I don't think. I've possibly been to Paran. I also hate saying the name Paran. Because I feel like I'm saying it wrong even though I'm not. I'm saying it correctly. It is Paran. But it's like Prahran. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? Why? I will have lesser ground. Will it pew pew? Pew pew. Yes, Vermont is way closer. That is fair. That is completely fair, and I cop that completely. Leicester grund. Leicester grund. In the hour, I have done nothing but flats. This is how it works. I swear to God. The idea is that I won't... I'll sort of... It comes up to like around here-ish, and then I'll feather that in later. And by later, I probably mean like right now-ish. Especially if I wanted to add that weird riverside thing, because that was a suggestion from earlier, is to put a shit up in there. 132. That is a ways. That feels a bit far, like time-wise. Like, did you just get in the Uber when you joined? Because that feels long. That feels perhaps overly long, I might argue. I might argue. That sounds like a bit of a long... Especially because, like... I mean, I guess it is... Well, it's Saturday. Was there stuff... I don't think that would affect it, actually. Unclear. That feels like a long trip, time-wise, in a way that doesn't make sense for how far it actually is. Yeah, 21 from where you are currently. Yes. Just when I joined you. Yeah. So, like, 20 minutes ago. I guess if it's like 40 from Paran to Pakenham, I guess that makes sense, because you gotta get down to the highway is the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's quicker than public, put it that way. And it costs a fuck sight more, but hey, you get home before Sunday, so that's what I call a win. It feels like a win. It's acceptable. Oop. This is kind of fucking cool on its little side bit, though. Like, that looks neat up in there. That looks fucking cool. That looks funky as shit. I like it. I like how this looks. And then if I get this and make it big... I did not figure out where the paths actually were. So that's probably a bad thing. I probably should actually figure that out. Because I just chucked these fuckers in here. So there's the main road going down there, and that'll be nice and brightly colored. I assume there's one going up in here. Probably one also up in here. And, maybe like that-ish. Where's the other waterfall? I didn't actually put that in anywhere. I assume there's like... Well, I guess... No, there's not another waterfall, because the waterfall is actually up here. But you might put, like, the town shit over here. So I'm gonna chuck that in as I can put some shit over there if I need to. Him COVID delay means no break in work after this weekend. Oh, gross. Gross. Ew. Break good. Hey, from T1 to T2. Ew. Big gross. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, understandable. I would too. I'd probably want a couple weeks off. Time off, never heard of it. Because that just sounds kind of awful, to be honest. What are these houses? I don't have a single earthly clue what any of these are actually for. I added them because it looked like there was nothing there. And I was like, no, there should be things in this area. People should live in this location. And then down that goes. Monies. Yeah, monies would be... Money's good, but would like more monies. It's monies, but how much monies? An amount of monies. Enough monies, not quite enough monies, but an amount of monies. Car, yeah, it all needs money. Cost fucking bank. It's like, Jesus Christ. Why does shit have to cost so much? Everything costs way the fuck too much money. It is all annoying and I don't like it. Please cost less. Please. But no. No. It is not allowed. It is not allowed to be cheap. It must be very expensive. We need one for teleporting, no gender wizard. And we're good. So say sleepy brain. So saith day. I bang the gavel. That's supposed to be a gavel? Sure. God, I wish this brush would do more with less pressure. Lord. Lord have mercy upon mine gentle rest. I guess if I just get like the edge and I can just come back in with the harder brush, it'd be like, yeah boy. Like at that point you can just come in with this bitch. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't pump it up. That's too much pumping it up. Put it back. Put that back. And that'll look better when it actually has, like, literally anything else put on it. And when I fix the ground color and I fix the house's color, because they're all very, very dark at the moment, and they shouldn't actually be that dark. The houses would probably be a slightly lighter roof color, because while the buildings may be built from the dark stone that surrounds them, the roofs probably aren't. Like, yeah, you can make a roof out of stone, but why would you, though? Why would you do that? Just use shingles. Let's pump it up. Don't pump it up. Pump it down. It's the evening. Calm down. It's a Saturday. It's nearly Sunday. We don't have to be very energetic about this. Calm down. Let's pump it down. That was deliberate though, so it's fine. I'm allowed to do that. I'm the host, I can do what I want. I mean, hope we didn't notice that. I mean, I'm still specifically quoting Luna's Why Not, which you did in fact hear from me. So, if that is what you were still quoting, which is what I was, then yes, you did hear that from me. Pump it up while we hit negative. God damn it. Fuck. I need to turn on the most epic of the epic musics, but it doesn't, it's being very, calm and sedate presently on the music front. It's being fairly chill. It needs to pump it up into gear a little bit. A little. Not too much. A little. Just a little bit. You did miss the, like, hour I spent just talking to myself, because that went swimmingly. It was a very productive hour. I mean, most of the rest of the song is not in English. Like, to be fair, most of the song is not in English. Yeah. Tatokachi? I almost know enough Korean to say any of those words correctly, but I'm pretty sure I'm saying every single one wrong, which is why I'm saying it very quietly. Because I do not need that in my life. Bearing in mind that I don't know anything about Korean. Most of it was none of it was about Homestuck. I did not start explaining the entire story of Homestuck from memory. That did not happen. Most of it was me just talking about how I had a weird Wednesday, I think. Which did vaguely mention that there was Homestuck involved, but not that much Homestuck. Relatively, you know? I mean, I can definitely start having the Homestuck rants now. There's still 40 minutes left. That's probably not even enough time to run through with a play-by-play, but actually, no, I'll probably summarize it I'll probably cut a lot of it out because it's mostly not worth it. Most of it does not need to be recounted, and I probably forget 90% of it anyway. So, oh, hell yeah, this shit's dark as hell. I love it. Look at this shit. You didn't miss Cancer Frog. You did not miss Cancer Frog. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I can explain that again if you want. I can attempt to explain again what the fuck that's supposed to mean. This can be done. Do it next week. Okay. Alright, I will not explain the history. I will not explain the story of Homestuck. I will not re-explain Cancer Frog. This map looks cool, but I don't know what to do. Now I don't know what to do. Now I'm confused. Then we'll do one thing. We'll do one thing. For definite. Turn that off, because I know where everything is now, currently. I might put those two on a separate layer, actually. Because... So, Ian and Smith. Because they will probably be actually wooden buildings, rather than stone. Why? Why the fuck not? Why not do it? Well, I mean, hold on. The inn being wood makes sense, because it's an inn for sleeping, and wood looks very nice, and it stands out on this main road, so people will notice it and will come and stay. The smithy being made out of wood is a little bit funky. I'd have to actually look at that. You're trying to show me Setsubo Sensei. Oh no. I'll have to see how much osmosis knowledge I've learned of Zetsubo Sensei by being on Tumblr in the mid-2000s. Or mid-2010s even. Smithy. Smithy! What's Smithy look like? Then more shit. Medieval. Show them to me in the medievals. It's not, well, I guess they're mostly, no, it's stone, right? Well, it's that, so you can have a woody thing. I am Googling smithies. I'm literally doing that right now. I'm literally doing it this second, and the issue is all of them are from video games. So we have that problem going for us. But, no, yeah, you can do them in a wood place. Cool. Alright, I'll do it in a wood place. This one can be wood. This one can be wood. So the smithies can be made out of wood, just so it stands out, because you got that cash money, man. You're making fucking swords for the government. Got fucking money to burn here. And everyone hates it when you do smithing. It deposits after 6 o'clock at night, because you're fucking loud. You're loud as shit. I don't remember either. I'm possibly confusing it for something else. Listen, yo. Despair happens a lot. Despair is a common anime thing, so I could be thinking of literally any show. I think I'm thinking of something else when I think of the word Zetsubo. I mean, I'm thinking of two different things. I'm thinking of Danganronpa, first of all. And then second of all, I'm thinking of, like the Zetsubo no Terror or whatever the fuck it's called. That's not what it's called. That's definitely not what it's called. That is not what it's called. Terror anime. What's the one with the terror in it? No, Terror. No, that's not it. Zankyo. No, okay. So I'm thinking of the wrong show. Thinking of the wrong show. Good job. Nailed it. Nailed it. Thinking of the wrong show. I don't think I'm familiar with Zetsubo Sensei. I'm loosely familiar with Zankyo. No, Zankyo no Terror is not Zetsubo Sensei. That is not Zetsubo Sensei. That ain't it. That ain't it. That's definitely not it. Those are different shows. No. Not that I know anything about Zankyo no Terra. All I remember about it is, that, like, someone fell out of a building at some point and there were some motorcycles. I didn't actually watch the show. Someone was into it. Somebody on my feed was into it. And that happens a lot of times. That is a very frequent occurrence. People just into shit. And I'm like, okay. Well, it is. I'm basically gonna do ground shit. Ground shit. Just to kind of get some of that shit in there. It probably did show up at some point. If it's the one with the octopus, then yes, I'm familiar with it. I don't remember if it is. If it's the one with the octopus, I am familiar. But only kind of. And actually not from Tumblr. I didn't really absorb the octopus one from Tumblr. That was from something else. And by something else, I mean, like, I watched, like, DigiBro or something. That's usually what happens, you know? Right? That's the way it goes. If it's the octopus, then I'm vaguely familiar, but not that familiar. So in the scheme of things, I'm still pretty unspoiled. I only know the basic premise. Then it's not the same show. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'm thinking of Assassination Classroom. I'm thinking of literally every other show except Setsubo Sensei, so I don't think I'm actually that familiar with it. And I don't know things. I know more than I should, but not the correct things. So that's the kind of, like, issue we're dealing with, is that I know some stuff, but not the correct stuff. It's the wrong thing. It's completely the incorrect show. Not Digimon. Not Digimon. Not Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Stop it. You know I didn't watch Digimon. You can't do this to me. Not on my stream. Not on my stream, goddammit. Oh, God. You having fun there? You having fun there, Day? You having fun? You doing alright? Is this exhaustion? Is this what exhaustion looks like? When you get really exhausted, you start doing shit like this? Not just singing Digimon in my Twitch chat. Thing is, I can't even start singing the Digimon theme because I don't know it. I've covered the vein of active brain cells. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's just because you're tired. That's fair. Valid, correct, cool. I can't do anything with that information because I am not that familiar with Digimon. You tried to explain this to me. I believe we had this discussion in the city while we were playing Pokemon. And it went about the same that time as well. Because, again, I have seen, at best, a single episode of Digimon. And I don't remember anything about it except for portal to another place, unclear where, and some girl who was doing a betrayal. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Okay, so yeah, I appreciate that that's the choice you made. Thank you. Thank you for making that sacrifice. And not doing that. Not doing the other option. Digimon more than Pokemon? Because I'm happy to accept that. Because having not seen Digimon, I don't know. And I didn't watch the Pokemon show because I was a movies person. But only in this very specific place. I watched the movie, I play the game. I do not do anything else. There's nothing else happening here. This brain ain't got a whole lot of room for nothing. I'm literally just doing zigzags with a textured brush, and I'm making something happen, and I'm like, yep, this is what a fucking path looks like. pretend this makes sense. Someone's gotta pretend it. I ain't. I am. I'm doing it. Well, no, I know that. I know the basic premise of Digimon. I'm just saying that there was a specific end of episode reveal in which someone was doing a betrayal and then got in a portal, and I was like, what the fuck? Huh? Hello? And I didn't understand any of it because I didn't know who these people were, or what the fuck they were doing, or where the portal was taking. I'm just like, huh? What? And it's every time I try to think of what the hell the girl's name was called, I'm like, Alice? And I'm like, that could mean anything. I could be saying that because she was blonde. She might not have even been blonde. I don't even know. I have no idea. This shit's a fucking mystery. It's genuinely knowledge that has been lost to my brain. I'm sure I knew... I think when we had the discussion in person and I explained this plot, I remembered more of it, but I now basically remember none of it. So... you know, it's kind of, you know, that's an actively lost thing that's happening. Because I did not, over the course of a year, that was not a memory that I sought to retain, apparently. That one just went, goodbye. Goodbye, little memory. You were neat to have. I don't remember nothing. I remember, fa-ha-ha-ko. Whereas I remember more of Pokemon because I had the movies and I could do the kid thing that I did all the time, where I would just watch them repeatedly 6 times in like a day because that's what it is. That's fine. That's fine. I don't know what I'm going on about either at this point. Again, I've been running on an autopilot a little bit, mostly because parts of this are kind of tedious, and because there haven't been many people in chat having a discussion, I've just been running my mouth. I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying. That's fine then. That's fine then. It's possible that I completely misunderstood what was happening. Because that's entirely likely, because I probably was. I was probably completely misunderstanding the context of the scene which was taking place before me. It's been long enough that I genuinely do not remember. It was either like a betrayal or some kind of familial reveal or something, and I'm like, I don't fucking know. Someone walked through a portal at the end of the episode, and I was like, what? What happened? What's going on? Where are you going? What are you doing? Where is it? Why? I did not know. I did not understand. I don't pretend to understand. I'd have to look into it and have to try it. I'd probably have to, like, go on my Tumblr and be like, did I ever talk about this? I'm sure I did. That's how I remember most things these days. I'm like, did I talk about it on Tumblr? If yes, it is a memory that can be restored. If not, that shit's sailed. That shit's long gone, yo. Those brain cells dead. That is kind of awful in a couple places, actually. I think I'm gonna have to go over it with, like, a blurry brush to fix up the fact that this shit looks really weird over there. That I'm gonna have to, like, come in with another, color and do some, like, very, like, vague brushings over with it. It looks kinda, like, weird. I don't like it, because that's not the texture that it should have. You're in bed. You've made it home. Congratulations. Welcome to the sleeps. Welcome to the sleeps. You are not required to stay. You can go to bed. In fact, you should. You should go to bed. You should go to bed properly. Properly. Sleep good. Go to bed. I won't even hold it against you, because I really don't. You can go to bed. You think you for sure while then pass out. Valid as hell. That is a valid way to do it. And is valid as hell. That might work. Need to make it up to the castle. Yeah, that's fair. Until the brain winds down. Which it will eventually, but until that point, I am here. I am the warden of some kind of hour. Covering something, I'll tell you that. And at least I'm getting some work done on this godforsaken map, because I don't even know what the fuck's happening up here. Like, I know what's happening, but I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Really. I know what the building is. I don't know why it looks like that specifically. And that's about as far as I know anything. And that's the way. That's what's happening. Just going over some of the bits with the biggest weird clumps in them. Being like, no. Fix that. Fix your weird tiger stripe cobble ass looking weird shit. And then I'll clean up the edges because it's gone over the top of shit. In the spot that it's not supposed to. That's fine. Oh, I didn't even do this bit over here. Oh no. I didn't even do the bit down below. Because I wasn't totally sure if I was gonna cover a bit. We'll see what happens. Beep, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. When I put those lines over here. Cool. That is something. Twitter's broken on your phone? No. Rude. Very rude, Twitter. Oop, shit. That looks weird. That's gonna require some fucking blending, yo. Gross. But it's a base to work from. This map color scheme reminds me of something, but I have no earthly clue what. So I have to just deal with that weird feeling of deja vu. I'm also really hungry. I'm hungry right now. Because I fucked up timing everything today. And my screen is disgusting. Ew. I cleaned it. It's still gross. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Ah, well. Something about the way that looks really weird in the thumbnail, but you can't even see it because that's where I put the sprint timer over it. But the way that the path layer looks in the thumbnail looks really weird. It's just because this area is very solid. Like it's solidly gray, so it looks a bit weird because it's more intense than literally anywhere else. Which is kind of weird, to be honest. But hey, you know what happens. It's town square. People go there all the time. It's like the hip happening place. It makes sense that that's the spot that's like visible and understandable more than anywhere else on that map, you know? It kind of makes sense. I'm wondering, should that actually be below? Because then I can just like, I can buff it out from the other end, maybe. Doesn't really make a difference, does it? I can just basically go like this. Like, here you go, buddy. My Digimon that digivolves from a giant walrus turtle crossed with Thor. I beg your pardon. Gesundheit? And then going from a gremlin, plant, to cactus, to fairy. Of course you'd like the one that turns into a fairy. I'm not sure why I'm surprised. In fact, I don't think I am. In fact, I'm not. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised in the slightest. This is completely understandable, and everything you've ever said to me makes that track. The Walrus Door, I have no fucking clue though. I have no idea what that means. I know you didn't know you were Faria. That doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense. It's like how, you know, you look back in your life, it's like, wow, huh? You know, like it's like, oh, it was extremely obvious and you know, nothing happened. No, it just happens like that all the time. It's like, yeah, no, there were signs and we're all fools. Just chuck some fucking shit up here. Chuck it. Chuck it. Chuck a diddy. Chuck a diddy. Ba ba da. Lily Mom was the fairy. Don't know any of these things. I know nothing. I am unfamiliar with all of it. I need you to understand that for definite. Because I don't know anything. Wait, why would it be... No, okay, because that's like lower. Okay, no, that makes sense. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That makes sense. Took me a second to figure my head around the three-dimensionality that I was starting to suggest there. That appears to be it. Okay, so that's like a... Lily went, what the f... Oh no. Yeah, as soon as you said Lily, that sounds familiar, and I'm like, wait, shit. Okay. You appear to have been subconsciously inspired when naming your character. You appear to have been inspired by something. Oops. Oopsie daisies. Ah, jeez. Ah. More Zudomon. 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 What is that? What is that? What is that? Why? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? I don't know how to process what that is. I mean, that is what you described it to me as. It is indeed a giant walrus turtle crossed with Thor. That doesn't mean that I completely understand what I am being shown here. I'm a little confused. Just in general. I think Digimon just confuses me overall. There's a lot going on. A little? A little? A little? A little bit? A little? Only a little? No, I'm gonna say it's a... Oh, that's not an edgy design. It's just a little weird. Goddamn. Fucking Nightkin looking ass. That's just because he's big and blue. Yeah, no, that's... And then immediately it enters the bad zone when I'm in the Google. Okay, don't. Close that. Close that one. Close that. Don't look in there. Do not look in there. Don't look. Don't look at it. That's what we call the oh no bad. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Oh yeah, immediately. With Zudomon? Yeah. Come on. Think about it. Yes. It immediately went there. Then there was nowhere else that it was going to go. And I'm like, I was already thinking about it. I was like, there's a spot that's gonna go, isn't it? It's like, oh, yeah, it went there. I'm like, yes, I will depart now. I mean, it didn't get into, like, like, a lot. But it got into it enough that I was like, no, I'm out, sorry. I'm gonna see myself out of here, yo. Final 15-minute sprint is on the clock, so it's just for me. Close that. This isn't really looking like any kind of mountain shit. That's fine. Bitchin'. And it was literally just him in a song, but like that's the I don't know, man. I'm not gonna explain this. I don't want to explain this. Yeah, it's tame third. I'm like, I see where this is going. I see where it is going to take me. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. And so I have elected to depart from that environment. That's what that is. That's all that's happening there. I was like, I'm gonna depart. I don't need to be in there. That's not necessary for me. I'm good. I got the gist at that point. I have no idea how I'm gonna texture these cliffs, so I'm not gonna do it now. I think I'm not gonna add that weird little riverside thing. I'm just gonna assume that it's further down, just because of the way the water works. Might do the water now, actually. So I probably should check. Yeah. That sounds about right. It sounds correct to me. Now, the river is called the River Dow, which I assume, like, Dow just means dark, so I feel like it should be dark, but the issue is that if it gets too dark, I'm like, you can't fucking tell it's a river, yo. I mean, you can, but it's, like, harder than it needs to be. Maybe like that for a base layer, and then we can get darker and lighter on top of it. Let's have it a little bit darker. That's not going to be dark there, actually. That's how it's going to be really bright. Around the rocks is going to be very bright, because that's meant to mark the waterfalls that are happening. Gomamon was the normal form for Zudo. Ah, right. This river's going to look whack. And by whack, I mean bad. Not gonna look good. His power is literally, I have a bunch of fish that are my friends. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. If it works, who's gonna stop him? You know, he's got a bunch of fish that are his friends. Who am I to argue? Who am I to argue with that? If it makes sense, it makes sense. It all makes sense in the context of a show that I did not watch and am not familiar with, I'm sure. It all makes sense. Oh, I didn't even do the bottom half. Shit. I forgot about the entire bottom half of the river. Fool. Let's find that dark color again. Women plants powers, which is the vine whip, basically. Right. Well, that makes sense. Did I get the color? A little. It's very not that dark when you don't take a lot of it. But we're kind of suggesting some water here now, so that's good. Light. Vaguely spiky whips. Right, okay, so we're gonna go with Kiza. I know what I'm thinking in my head, and that's what I'm gonna roll with. I can imagine what a spiky thorn whip looks like. It's all good. It's all good. I've got that visual knowledge already in place. I'm familiar with this. Don't ask. Don't ask what that is. Got to her just by googling gremlin plant Pokemon. Poison Ivy. Right. Now that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me. Just like based on general knowledge of plants. I'm like, yay, call that plant move poison ivy. Yeah, that makes sense. These are all understandable decisions being made here. That's looking enough like water that I'm willing to let it go. Aside from just like a little extra, just a little bit of. Oh, I didn't put any water in the light in the fan on. Light in the what the? Light in the fountain. Light in the fountain. Get that light in the fountain. Okay, now I need to get that cold color back. Where'd you go? That's not getting it. That's getting close enough to it, yeah? It might work better. LG, 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 LG. Reform Lemon. Of course it's a rose-based dominatrix. Why the hell am I surprised? What did I genuinely expect? Now, having been into... No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to explain that one. I'm going to continue to refuse to explain that, but basically, okay. Yeah, alright. Sure. Based on my knowledge of Digimon. Yeah. Shit gets real weird. Combination edgy teen and horny? Question mark? But like, very specific, like, horny question mark. That'll do for water. I might blur it a little bit. We'll see what happens. But that's basically functional for it. It suggests the idea of water. Though, I will do something up here, which is waterfall mist. And what that means, I'm going to take a very light color and just go... Because there's waterfalls in there, yo. Getting some vibes in there. We're suggesting that shit. That probably means I should have made some distinctions in the cobbles a bit more. Just because there is actually a vertical difference that happens where the top of the town is higher than the bottom. So, higher cobbles. Like, it gradually goes, downwards. Literally, there's, like, a step, like, around here. Which is probably just, like, a really, really weird bit where it just kind of goes, like, that way. And then, like, along there. Maybe. Or, like, along up there. So there's a really weird, like, chunk out of it. Where it just looks real fucking wild. This is that one part that's raised. And it looks weird. Yeah, it's like that because I wanted to have another waterfall in there. That's it. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was another waterfall. I'll also get a little bit of that lighter stuff on pass a bit. On the main highways at any rate. I think that adds a little bit to it. And kind of, oops, shit. Makes that make a little sense. Where it's like, oh, okay, there's like an actual drop. That doesn't really explain why there is the ability to go there, but I guess the idea is since there's presumably an actual drop down where this part of the river is noticeably below the thing, because like there is a bridge, so there is an actual noticeable height difference. So this bit of mist actually shouldn't be over the top of the houses there, I don't think. Because it's significantly below them at that point. I guess, if that makes literally any sense. I think it's basically like the way at the end is like, there's the wizard tower, that's good color. There's a wizard tower doing its thing, fucking cactus looking ass. Cactus doing over here. And then there's a noticeable drop, then there's the river, and then it goes into its waterfall. I don't know how the hell the fucking wall plays into this, because there is more of a gap there, but it's fine. It's 5-2, I'm gonna pass out. Good night, Day! Rest well, have a nice sleep. Thank you for dropping by. Bye. See me in the future. Good night. Okay, something like that shit. That the tonal shift. Something like that. Kinda. I don't know. Listen, there's presumably a fucking wall up this barrier. That's fucking fence. I don't know how the wall plays into that. But I assume the wall comes up to around the level. It comes up above the building, so the walls would actually be like up to here. So the wall's back there. Pointy. And there probably should actually be a bridge over that river, to be honest. In terms of the actual wall. Should probably have a bridge. So I'm gonna chuck down to another tenner. And I'm gonna faintly suggest a... And by faintly, I mean I'm going to literally just draw in... the fact is that... Oh, but there's like a fucking... There's a fucking pivot there, though. Is the thing. I literally just want to fucking pivot. There is an angle on that. I also don't know if this will look actually even remotely correct. It looks fine, I guess. I might make all of the lines on this layer not pure black at the end, because they look a little bit weird, because it's a scanning of a drawing of actual ink on paper, and so it's not actually pure black. And pure black basically never looks correct when you do that kind of shit. But, like, that's the vibe. Is that there is a thing, but there is not a point out. It is not pointed. There's probably similarly a bridge over the gate, but I'm leaving the gate uncovered for readability purposes more than anything else. That's a readability thing, I think, is the understanding there. I haven't marked the Adventurer's Hall or his house, but I don't think, like, his house particularly of the guy who dies, his house is very standard. It's not anything to write home about. It is just a normal goddamn house, yo. So his house will not stand out visually. He has the marker for that. The Adventurer's Hall probably also doesn't stand out, just because I don't know why it would, because you didn't build it, you bought it. So it is just kind of a place that do be there and do be doing things. I don't know. I don't even know, bro. Anyways, I'm really hungry, actually. I'm very hungry. And then, like, it's only those places that matter, and then the 2 red places. The tower probably doesn't matter unless I pull, as a GM, I pull what can be described as some shit. But, like, there's always the possibility to pull some shit. Because there are many ways that this one-shot can resolve. Not just in the sense that, like, do you kill the boss or not? Because it can be played without combat, because there's only one combat encounter. So, oops. But, like, you know, how you actually deal with that encounter, combat or otherwise, that can happen in, like, 3 different places, depending on what you do. I think it can end either, like, here. It can either end. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here, or here somewhere. Or it can end in fucking whoop whoop, because, bro, it's a one-shot and players are wild. They might try and put a trap, like, here. I don't even know. The world's their oyster, yo. They can put that shit wherever they want. Hey, Citrium! Welcome! You've come basically at the end of the stream, but thank you for stopping by. I have been working on map. I have worked on map. I've done this since the stream started. I'm gonna close that. I'm actually gonna turn off the timer because it is now midnight, and so I will not be doing that. But I've done that much of the coloring since I started 2 hours ago, which I think is progress. I don't know, this might have to be a fairly long process because I don't know how the hell I'm going to do any of these roos. I might do that next week. Draw this one out in terms of thinging. I'm just gonna for you to stop by real quick. Alright, that's a solid plan. Thank you for dropping by. I don't think anyone's doing any words because it's been a very quiet chat tonight, so no one's actually writing. So I don't actually have to wait for any words because I certainly didn't do any, and I don't get to count drawing as words, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. We all wish we could. Let's see. Whomst is live presently that I shall head off to raid. That's not the thing that I wanted. Oh, it's blinding. Because Greg's still up. That's basically it. Shy's supposed to be up in a minute. Which is, I think, what I was waiting for. I think I was assuming I was raiding Shy, and then when Shy's done, she can raid, Greg. But I don't see anything. And I don't see her. Oh, there she is. There she is. She's online soon. So it'll be a minute or two before she's proper up, ready to go. Mute that. I don't need the audible ad to show up on my desktop audio feed. That ain't happening. I hate when that happens. Come on. Come on. Come on, audible ad. Come on, Twitch ad. Come on. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now we have that open while we wait for Shy to come online, and then we will head off to raid Shy, and then I can eat a fruit bar and keep working on the map a little bit, and then go to bed. Basically is the plan. I think that's a solid plan. So we just wait for her to get up, and then we will head out. I can't see her. I can't see that now. So I'm not gonna actually notice. I'm not gonna notice if I'm alt-tabbed. I'm just trying to figure out, I need to figure out how I'm gonna actually texture these mountains in a way that actually looks good. Because I don't know how to do that. Because the thing is, it would get lighter, wouldn't it? Or it can get darker. Because darkness suggests depth. Because this looks like it's going down. Is the idea. That looks like it's already going down. So it would have to get lighter up towards the top. But that will make it look like the ground below it. Which is kind of annoying. I don't really know how to handle that one. Possibly the ground should be darker. But they are described as dark mountains that are in this area. So I'm just like, yeah. Hold on. See that shit. Yeah, buddy. That's the one. Wait, it's supposed to get lighter. Immediately I forgot that I was supposed to get lighter with it. I'm gonna do it darker and then I'm gonna fix it at the end and flip them all around. So they go in the correct color direction. And by that I mean I'm just gonna flip the top and the bottom. Those seem to be the only layers that would actually flip at the moment. Because I can't really get into pure dark and actually do a whole lot with that. You probably want to put a couple in the highlights as well anyway. Something like that. That's a little bit of something. I feel like given the general understanding of direction, the players still might be able to understand that it's going that direction. Anyway, alright. Oops, shit. Hit that in the button. Hit that in the spot. Put it in its little spot. Okay. So now Shy Red is up, so we will be heading out. We'll be raiding Shy Red Fox. She's doing like nail binding. I'm not actually sure what that is. It's just a craft and chat stream. Very chill. More chill than me because I've just been running my mouth for 2 hours and I have no idea what I'm saying at this point. It'll just be a fun little creative time and people who are here can go and be productive. Which is not what happens in my streams. Productivity is illegal, apparently. So yeah, thank you all for coming. Hopefully you all had a lovely time chilling, and hopefully you all have lovely days, no matter what it is that you do with them. I'll see you all around. Goodbye. There we go. Oh my god, I'm hungry.